Alright, so you're standing on the first tee, bag full of shiny clubs, and you're thinking, which one do I actually use? It can feel a bit overwhelming, especially if you're new to the game or just getting back into it after a break. All those different shapes, sizes, and numbers, what do they all mean? And how do you know which club is the right one for the shot you're about to take? Trust me, I've been there. Today I'm going to break down the basics of golf clubs so you know exactly what's in your bag and when to pull out the right club for the shot. By the end of this, you'll have a clear idea of what each club does, and you'll feel a lot more confident the next time you're standing over your ball. Let's start with drivers. That's the really big club. Super long, massive head, looks like it could launch a golf ball into orbit. The driver is the king of distance, and it's designed to help you hit the ball as far as possible off the tee. You use the driver for your very first shot on long holes. The goal is distance. It's the club you'll reach for on par 4S and par 5S when you want to cover a lot of ground right from the start. Tee it up high, swing big, and send it flying down the fairway. The driver is all about power, but don't worry if you don't hit it perfectly every time. Everyone struggles with the driver at first. Just focus on making solid contact and enjoying that satisfying sound when you catch it just right. Next up, fairway woods. These look a bit like a smaller version of the driver, and they're numbered, like a 3-wood or 5-wood. Fairway woods are designed for long shots, but they're a bit easier to control than the driver. They're great for long shots from the fairway, or if your driver's feeling a bit scary, you can even tee off with them. They're especially useful when you need distance but also want a little more accuracy. They're more forgiving and easier to control than the big driver. If you're playing a tight hole or just want to build confidence, fairway woods are a solid choice. Plus, they work well from both the tee and the fairway, making them super versatile. Now let's talk about hybrids. These are the secret weapon for beginners. Hybrids combine the best features of woods and irons, making them easier to hit and more forgiving on off-center shots. Hybrids are a mix between a wood and an iron. They're easier to hit than long irons and super handy for tricky lies. If you find yourself in the rough, or facing a long shot from a tough spot, hybrids can help you get the ball back in play with less stress. If you see a 3 hybrid or 4 hybrid in your bag, give it a go. It'll make your life a lot easier. Many golfers even replace their long irons with hybrids because they're just that much more user-friendly, especially for those still working on their swing. Alright, irons. These are the clubs labeled 3 through 9, and they get shorter and more angled as the numbers go up. Irons are your go-to clubs for most shots between the tee and the green, and each one is designed for a specific distance and trajectory. Lower numbers, like 3 or 4, are for longer shots, while higher numbers, like 8 or 9, are for those shorter, more precise shots onto the green. The lower numbered irons hit the ball farther but lower, while the higher numbered irons send the ball higher and help it stop quickly. If you're closer to the green and want the ball to fly high and stop quickly, grab a higher numbered iron. These clubs are perfect for approach shots, getting over hazards, or landing softly on the green. Let's not forget wedges. These are your get-out-of-trouble clubs. Wedges are designed for short, high shots, and they're essential for getting out of bunkers, rough, or any tricky situation around the green. Pitching wedge, sand wedge, lob wedge, they're all about short shots with lots of height. Each wedge has a different loft, which means they send the ball different heights and distances, so you can pick the right one for the job. Bunkers, chips, tricky lies, wedges are your best friends there. And finally, the putter. The putter is the club you'll use the most, and it's all about touch and feel. This is the club you'll use the most, even though it doesn't look flashy. The putter is for rolling the ball on the green, aiming for the hole, and finishing each hole with as few strokes as possible. When you're on the green, it's all about gentle taps, precision, and nerves of steel. The putter might seem simple, but mastering it is key to lowering your scores and enjoying the game. So that's the basics. Driver for distance, irons for approach, wedges for finesse, and the putter for finishing the hole. Each club has its own job, and learning when to use each one is a big part of becoming a better golfer. Try each club at the range, see what feels right for you, and remember, every pro started as a beginner. Don't be afraid to experiment, ask questions, and make mistakes. That's how you learn and improve. Now get out there and have some fun with your new knowledge. Golf is a journey, and understanding your clubs is just the first step. Enjoy the process, celebrate your progress, and most importantly, have a blast out on the course.